in June. And so we were like, definitely September of 2020. Well, that didn't happen. Actually, let me back up. I made a mistake. It was 2019, because we would definitely not meet in June of, yes, okay. Thanks for correcting me, Cal. But we had the great news tonight. We have 225 of our supporters. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And we were wondering, once we sent out the invite, what kind of response are we going to get? I was told to limit my jokes to under 10 minutes. So we made it a little later to start, because you probably had a few more drinks, so more laughter. We got the photographer here. If you take a picture of me at that angle, I'm going to have a double chin. Okay, thank you. Tony Moreno, thank you. And he promises to Airbright, all the photos, he will do the soft. Remember, who was it in Dynasty that always had the soft focus on her? Remember Dynasty? Was it Dynasty?
Joan Collins.
Okay, yes. Well, maybe Joan Collins. I'm aging myself. I grew up on Lawrence Welk, believe it or not. Still my favorite show. Actually, Joe, I'm going to call on Joe in a minute. Where's Joe? Joe Ashley? Wow. Our chair they put in the nosebleed section? Come on, that's not right. Joe, I have an addendum to your talking points, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get you that addendum. Please let the board stand up. Please recognize the board at a certain time to stand up. That's the addendum. I want to first recognize all elected officials. I'm not going to name each one, because if I leave somebody out, I'm going to get an email tomorrow. I know it. So even if all electeds, please stand up now. Yeah. Okay. And now the sponsors. Without the sponsors, this would not be possible, this dinner. We do have our lead sponsor presenting is Valley Children's Healthcare. Yes. Well, let's tape this, because they're up north. They were not able to come tonight. So we really appreciate their support. Hopefully we'll see them next year. The refreshments, AES. I know I saw Nikki and Drew. What does refreshments cover? Okay. Okay. I hope you got, what is that, $5? Or I have to give you money. Speaking of refreshments, we have Lone Oak Brewery. Where's Louis Morgan? So I told Louis, I like beer, but I like amber, and I like stout. And he said amber, apparently only 2% of people drink amber. And so I get here, he said he's bringing it, right, the Oktoberfest, even though it's September. He brought the Oktoberfest, and of course, what happened? The keg was broken. That's like a bad dream, right? But I did eventually taste it. It's very amazing. And then you have, I don't know why all the beers now, there's 90% of them are IPA, right? Blonde wheat. Pardon me?
Because they taste
Okay. Sorry the Giants lost. Big Giants fan here. But Zach's very happy. Dodgers won. So. Didn't the Giants were up too, right? Okay. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm not going to go further than that.
Go Bills!
Yeah, go Bills. Tank for Tua. And we did. And look where it got us. Dessert is Wonderful Real Estate. Where is John here? Jason? Who else is here? The wonderful folks? Well, there. Thank you. What is the dessert, by the way, Sophia? Jake's Tex-Mex. Okay, chocolate cake. Okay, great. Okay, and we have. Oh wait, yes. Wait, I have the dessert was wonderful, or the. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at the spacing. Photographer, Tony Moreno, Valley Republic Bank and Tri-Counties Bank. So, how many photos are you up to now, Tony?
Oh, gosh, lots.
Okay, that answers my question. And we have a DJ. I wanted to spin some records or whatever they call it, but Given that I like Lawrence Welk, I don't think that was appropriate for tonight. So this guy to blame for the music. And I'm an 80s guy, kind of goth guy, but, no Cure, Depeche Mode. It's not going to work. So what is the selection tonight? Okay, Berlin. So TSV stands for the social vibe. Okay, everything's acronyms. Have you noticed? Everything's shortened. This is another one of my things. But did you know last year the top 30 songs had something in common?
What were they?
They were one word or less. Or maybe it was top 20 songs. But what happened to songs with long titles, right? So anyway, I'll try that on another venue. I think I'm cutting into my time. And Marilyn's already texting somebody like, how do I get out of here? Can you bring out my car? Marilyn Maldonado, thank you for being here. Okay, so I'm going to the part, my stream of consciousness. About now, I was much more, the board meeting today, I kept it right, Zach, I was much more, I did not go in, I don't have a PowerPoint tonight, and that's my crutch. But let's talk about economic development, since we are the current Economic Development Corporation. And we're a countywide organization. We focus on 5 industry sectors, and I'll name them: aerospace, defense, logistics, energy, and what else? Healthcare, and pardon me, value-added ag. There you go. And hopefully you all got. If you're not on a royalty list, we sent today the economic vitality of Kern County. And remember, the average attention span's 8 seconds. What did I say, Tony? Okay. And so we have studies that talk about our economic vitality and potential, our innovation. But what resonates are these 1 or 2 pagers. So we really, this year, in our industry advocacy, one of the things was educating not just our locals, but frankly Sacramento and the world about Kern County, right? We're the 3rd most diverse economy in the country. We're number 4 for STEM jobs in the country. We have all these accolades, and much like the regional branding, which we rebranded, part of an initiative several years ago, we really want our locals to be the ambassadors when we're out of the community, bragging about Kern County, telling the true story. These are real numbers. This is not fake news. All the data we use is from trusted resources. We talked, right, with Zach about upward mobility. We're number 1 for upward mobility in the country. Think about that. The odds of you moving from the bottom 20% to the top are number 1. It's 13%, which is the top in the country. So we are continue to promote this information, and our Robley has about a 40% open rate, which is pretty good, 40 to 45%. LinkedIn, we typically get 5,000 to 6,000 views. Sorry, Joe, I'm going over. I'll give you an extra 5 minutes because you are a chair. You can have 30 minutes. Project. We talked about the 3 legs of the stool: economic development, right? What are they? Drew? The 3 legs of economic development. Okay, thank you. Because you have been to some of our meetings, but I'll send you the slides again. They're business attraction, right? Business retention, expansion, and entrepreneurship. Those are the 3 legs. So we as at EDC focus on that. Our strategic plan, we talk about that. Entrepreneurship. Recently, we've partnered with JP Lake Seed Corps on the current initiative for talent and entrepreneurship. 90% of net new jobs are from young firms less than a year old. So that's just something that if that ecosystem's not strong, the challenge is we're number 5 in the country for startups, but our startups don't last as long as other regions. And some of you at the board meeting, you heard this, so I apologize. You can have a sip or something for these stats, and then they don't pay as well. So what Kite is providing spaces, mentoring, guidance, funding, right? How do we provide these resources? So October 7th at the Career for Technical Education Center. If you haven't been there, Brian Miller, great job, you and your team. Love that place. What a diamond, right? A jewel for the state. So they're going to be hosting a mini expo for Kite. I'll talk more related to the foundation. So with our strategic plan, we focused on job creation. We set 3-year goals. We focused on cap investment as well as wage income. So the good news is we're looking at our project caseload. It's gone up 50% in 3 years. So now we had about 46 projects come in from 2021. Melinda does a great job. Once in a while, she lets me help out, but she is an amazing economic developer, travels around the country. Even during COVID, you were doing remote visits with site selectors and the like. But we're glad to be in person again. So thank you for that. We had approximately almost 1,500 jobs in the last fiscal year, as well as about $60 million in wage income for these projects, and almost $500 million cap investment, which is even beyond our 3-year goal. So we continue to work and making sure that these projects, we call them 5 is the likelihood of coming to Kern County. And the great thing is, guess what? East Kern is really representing on the list. We're excited. Several large manufacturing projects, innovative projects, want to call East Kern home, right? We represent the whole county. If any of you have been to the East Kern Economic Alliance, we started about 14 years ago. It's a great story about innovation and communities in East Kern. And so that's something really important to us, representing the whole county. Our foundation, I'll take a minute to cough. And we have Cheryl Scott here, who is the Bakersfield College Foundation, used to be the exec director of KDF. So thank you. During COVID, we really had to examine economic development, and the foundation, the cornerstone event for the foundation was a symposium. 3,000 kids in a hangar, right, at the fairground. That can't happen during COVID. But interesting, during COVID, we were planning the next event, and we applied for the International EDC, Economic Development Council. We're on a chance, we thought this event should be recognized, and we got, I think, bronze award. International Economic Development Council for the best special program. So that was a great, great accolade. We will have this symposium on April 22nd, 2022. So mark your calendar at the CTEC Center, and we have significant support for that. Okay, so the final part with I'm wrapping it up, Joe. Joe's probably still sitting over there. He's like, yeah, okay, I see you when I believe it. We have our Career Catalyst Initiative. We're launching in the fall, early summer. I've said this often, many of you have heard it. The number one attribute that employers are looking for in students is, did they have a paid internship? Not unpaid. I know it's great to have free labor, but paid internships, number one. And actually 4 of the top 5 attributes are experience related. Education is important. I mean, as I say, GPA's on the bottom. I wish I'd known that when I was in college. I really studied hard, at least the first year. Then what did they call sophomore slump? So we are going to basically countywide. We're working with the community colleges, talking with CSUB, the ROC, with the Workforce Investment Board, even talking to Wonderful Academy. How do we create this talent pipeline of students ready and willing to intern? So we have to match the employers with these students. And that's what we will be taking the lead and partnering with on that soon to come. It's talent retention, right? Talent retention is so important. We only retain about 50% of our 2- and 4-year degree grads. And if we can't keep our local talent here, then we're going to be behind the curve. And why wouldn't they want to stay here, right? I mean, I just bought a house half ago. It's appreciated $60,000. I just refied. But that's what I worry about, this bubble, right? Will there be a bubble? But I just think this is the one place more teachers can afford to live and work in Bakersfield, Kern County than almost anywhere in the country. Only 2% can in San Francisco. So, and Jay, you came back from LA, right? There you go. Jason Matthews in the house. So I digress, as I usually do. I want to introduce our staff, amazing staff that puts up with me mostly every day. Other times they just close their door and put in the earphones, nod their head when I talk to them. Melinda Brown, which we mentioned. Melinda's okay somewhere. Sorry I had to make you stand up again. She's had a long day, right? And Melinda Brown, so that's 16 years, I believe. So thank you for your service. And we have Sophia Gogorovic. And Sophia did a fabulous job of leading with this dinner. So if you find an olive pit in your food, please look at her. Mosquito, mites you, whatever. So let's see, we have Christina Miller. Are you here? Okay, back on the other side. Christina's great calling people to pay their dues, right? Someone had told me tonight, like, I just finally sent in the check. She called me so many times. So, but what happened, and Joe will talk about during COVID, the concern for us as an organization, will we lose membership? My colleagues up north said 30%. We actually gained members. And so we really appreciate you supporting us during these unprecedented times. And hopefully you didn't get a call from Christina saying, where's the check? But we have, who else? Well, Andy Young, he broke his leg, I think. He just started a couple weeks ago. Melinda's really hard on her new employees. We didn't want him coming, how would he get down? Anyway, we miss you. You're here in spirit, Andy. Andy's our business expansion and attraction specialist. We realized that we really needed somebody who's worked in economic development 10 years to really help us write this granular data, dig down, make the case for Kern County. And so he is really helping us go to the next level in terms of showing our best, making that presence and putting together the packet, the collaterals to do that. Wow, well, I think Joe's still sitting over there because he's like, I see the script. It's introduced Joe Ashley now, but so Joe and I, our esteemed chair, Joe Ashley, this will be his second year. Joe, did you see the fine print when you signed? It's 2 years, not 1 year. Joe will be our second year chair. We are both from North Carolina. I'm from the Sand Hills, and you are from the Blue Ridge, near the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I was telling Joe, I'm fascinated by linguistics and accents. And there's a map, and it shows the southern accent, and it's all the southeast Texas, and there's the dot, Kern County. So Kern County, there's a word, there's two, they give them two words. It's P-I-N and P-E-N. So I'm from North Carolina. I say pen and pen. And Joe, too, he has some other words, choice words he's going to use after my presentation. But Kern County, guess what? We're the only place outside the South that says P-I-N and P-E-N the same. Are you writing that down, Drew? Okay. Well, how do is that how I'm going to, well, but we really, the thing is that, we talk about, how to differentiate and promote Kern County. We're not using the pen and pen variation, but we really are excited for you all to be here. And is everybody finished eating? Yeah? Okay. Hopefully you kept eating during my presentation. But usually at home I talk and my wife and daughter are like, what did you say? So I'm glad many of you listened tonight, but thank you again for your tremendous support. Joe will talk more about how we did during COVID and how well positioned we are moving forward in 21-22. So Joe Ashley, please come to the stage.
My name is Joe Ashley. I'm Director of Regulatory Affairs for CRC, California Resources Corporation, and Chair of the Board. This is my second year and my final year. It's been great. It's been odd, but again, I think the level of support of this group is why we're all here, and that's what makes Kern County a wonderful place to be, a wonderful place to live, and a wonderful place to work. We've all known that for a while. People are still figuring that out because they continue to move into this area, and as Richard mentioned before, despite COVID and all the issues we had, we've done pretty well over the past couple of years, the year and a half going on 2. Let me start by introducing or recognizing at least the fellow executive committee members. Just have you stand. Dana Brennan is our vice chair. I know she's not here this evening. Treasurer is Andy Stanley. Secretary is Denise Newton. We have 2nd District Supervisor Zach Scribner. District Supervisor, Mike Maggard, and ex officio member and Carnegie Foundation Chair, Mark Wyatt. I'd also like the board members to stand up so they can be recognized as well. Okay, so despite the obvious impacts from the pandemic, it's been pretty busy at the EDC, as Richard mentioned before. We continue to advocate for our industry partners and communities. We do that in a number of different ways. Richard has recently done a couple of op-eds that were fantastic about the oil industry, something near and dear to our hearts here in Kern. We create fact sheets and distribute those all across the state. We have a pretty active social media program as well, so lots of people get to pick up on these good things we're doing in Kern. We participate in trade events, as you heard. Melinda is, really pimping our county hard. Sorry for those two puns. I mean, Richard took all the clean jokes. What can I say? And various economic impact studies. We have and continue to grow our membership, as Richard mentioned. We've had 3 new members, I think, in the past couple of weeks, basically. So that is huge for us in the big scheme of things. We've continued to hold what have been our signature events, the Energy Summit, the Economic Summit, and the State of the County, which is a partnership between us and the county and the chamber, as you all know. And our great new partnership with KGETV, and that I think has worked as good as anything we've done in a long time in terms of our events, because we have been able to save money. These have been virtual events, and those people who spend money for advertising and spend money to send folks normally, they can stretch those dollars by having their ads and their collateral and all that stuff being seen on TV now. So the reach, instead of being a few hundred, is now in the tens of thousands. So that's a huge thing for us. As Richard mentioned before, we have unprecedented financial reserves with assets currently in excess of $1 million, and so I think that's something that's never been done for the EDC here. And we couldn't have done it all, or couldn't have done any of this without, as I mentioned, the support of this group. So please give yourselves a round of applause. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to keep my remarks short. And so that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful dinner, and enjoy. And we'll see you again here a year from now, and it'll be at least 10 degrees cooler, I think.